It's always right when you're about to finish the race when you get hit by a blue shell. And then after that, out of nowhere, people pass you and you end up finishing in 3rd or 4th place. We are all familiar with the blue shell, but where exactly did it originate from? If you've played Mario Kart ever since the Nintendo 64 days, then you are familiar with the blue shell. Usually you get it when you're running far behind, and then after that, it flies all the way up to the front, hitting whoever is in 1st place. And the thing about it is that the blue shell does not miss. They can block it, however, if they have nothing to block it with, there is no way to avoid this thing. So you better hope that you're in the lead by a lot and or you have an item that you can actually use in order to block. So back to my original question, where exactly does the blue shell originate from? Now yes, many of you could say, you know what Johnny, it's not that deep, but guess what? It is a little deep. So we're gonna find out how deep it actually goes. You see, the blue shell was originally introduced back in Mario Kart 64. This was primarily introduced in order to balance out the game. Or more specifically, it was a way to give players who were way far behind a way to actually impact the race. The developers noticed that players in the back often had little chance of actually catching up with the skilled players, leading to the race basically ending exactly how it started. The skilled players in the front and the newbies in the back. But the blue shell gave those in last place a tool that they can actually use to affect the one in the front, therefore giving them a chance to even be able to catch up. Matter of fact, did you know it's not even called the blue shell? It's actually called a spiny shell. And originally the spiny shell's mission was not just to hit whoever was in 1st place, but at the same time hitting anybody that would get in the way. So it's safe to say that this shell was literally made to just cause destruction the whole time. However, keep in mind this thing is literally not called a blue shell, it's called a spiny shell. It looks similar to like a Koopa shell, except it had wings at one point. So Paratroopa maybe? I guess, but it was only for the GameCube and for the Wii because after that it got chopped off. So a spiny shell, you say? Well, I have heard of spinies before. Similar to the Koopa Troopas, spinies are mainly known from the original Super Mario Bros. Game on the NES. Spinies were first seen in this game in World 4 Level 1, where you can see Lakitu actually throwing down spinies trying to hit Mario. However, as you can see, none of these are actually blue, they're all red spinies. But the blue shell is called a spiny shell officially and not a Koopa shell, so is it possible that the blue shell actually came from one of these creatures? And if so, then how exactly did it even turn blue? Well, if we dive deeper into the Mario series, before the NES debut of Super Mario Bros, we actually had Mario Brothers, no Super in the name. But in this arcade classic, we actually play as Mario in the sewers, and we can actually see that one of the first enemies that we encounter in this game was actually the Spinies. Now, Mario can't actually jump on them or else he'll get hurt and lose a life. So we have to rely on hitting the floor on where they are walking from underneath in order to actually be able to flip them over, and while they are upside down, they become vulnerable to Mario kicking them off the map. However, if Mario were to leave them there for a long time, they can actually recover, into which they start to change colors, originally being red, then green, and then as you can see, they eventually do turn blue, with red being the slowest, then green where they are slightly faster, and blue with them being the fastest. So there are 3 different colored Spinies. Remind you of something? Because I know I've definitely seen these colors before. But I know, those are technically Koopa shells. At least the red and green one are. But if not, then why exactly is it called a spiny shell and not a Koopa shell? And this is where I introduce the blue shell theory. Now, I understand that Nintendo never officially said that the Spinies is what the blue shell was. However, at the same time, Nintendo never denied that these weren't the spiny shells that we knew from the original Mario game. So for all we know, the red Spinies eventually probably evolved growing blue shells, and in some situations even wings once they went until the afterlife, and eventually probably getting revived after death, exactly how we saw the Koopalings do with Dry Bowser. So it's already known that they have the magic ability to actually revive things after they are long gone. Exactly how they were able to revive Bowser. That is some strong magic. So it's possible that the spiny shell is just a restless soul revived from the dead seeking revenge on Mario, hence why exactly it targets the first place in every single Mario Kart game. Especially since in every Mario Kart game, you literally see Mario leading the race in first place. So next time you get a blue shell, just think about it. You probably have just summoned something more sinister, something trying to finally find peace by destroying everything in its path in the hopes of one day finally getting its sweet revenge. But that's just my theory, so let me know in the comment section below what you think about this and follow for more gaming content.